Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Faith. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to be doing this sun-kissed makeup look, this golden bronzed look for you. I am so ready for summer. Today is finally the first day here where I live, where the sun is shining and it's starting to get a little bit warmer. So that is what inspired this look today. I hope that you guys enjoy watching. As you do watch, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And let's get right on into the video. Once again, not naked. Okay, I'm just going to pin back the hair today so we can see what we're doing. Okay, so today is all about the skin. So that is where we're going to start. Our eyes are going to be pretty simple, you know, just a nice thick black wing and lashes, but other than that we're going to keep it simple and really focus on the skin. So skin prep is key, and I am so excited to try this product from Masqueology. This is their 24 karat gold cream with shimmer, and when I heard about this I was like, I have to have it because I want my face to shimmer. So I absolutely love the Burt's Bees body lotion. I have it on now. I don't know if you can kind of see the shimmer it gives, but I thought if there is a product like this for the face, I have to have it. So we're gonna see if this actually makes our face glow. Oh yeah, there's definitely shimmers. It's kind of glittery. I wouldn't say there's like actual glitters in it, but it reminds me a lot of the Burt's Bees lotion I put all over my body, except for this is for the face, and it has absolutely no fragrance really, like a just very mild fragrance, which I enjoy because it makes me feel like it's not gonna irritate my face. So there is our moisturizer and kind of like a little glowy skin prep. I do still want to go in with a primer though to make sure our foundation lasts, because we're going to be using a really dewy foundation, so I want to take all the necessary precautions to make sure that it lasts. So I'm just going to use the Becca Backlight priming filter and put that as well all over the face, and this also gives a really nice glow. You might think that these first steps like aren't worth it or you skip over them, but I promise if you do the skin prep necessary to make your skin look and feel glowy and smooth, it will pay off. Oh, I didn't wet my sponge. Hold on. Okay, taking that mini break to wet my sponge was actually good because it let the base products kind of sink into my skin a little bit, and they've basically dried it down, so that's good. Also, it's the first day that it's even hit like in the 50s here, so there's a ton of people doing yard work and stuff outside, so if there's background noise, I apologize. So today I'm going back into an old favorite. I used this all last summer and I'm excited to try it out again. This is very affordable. It's the LA Girl Pro Coverage HD High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation. So this is their illuminating foundation. I have this shade Fair and Natural. I think I'm gonna be natural because I did self-tan. So let's just see here. I think I might mix the two just to be safe, because Fair has more of like a yellowy golden undertone, whereas Natural is kind of more neutral, and I definitely am more yellow toned. So we're just gonna mix those two together here. And this foundation is going to make you look almost greasy, which is kind of the look we're going for. This is a super dewy, sun-kissed, bronzy look that we are going for. So this is the absolute most illuminating dewy foundation that I own, which is why I chose it for this. And I have super dry skin right now. So in order to get this dewy look going, I figured I better go hard. If you have oily skin, you are going to hate this. They do have a matte version though, so I would check that out and then maybe add in your dew with some highlight or maybe kind of like a shimmery bronzer. But for your face products, if you are oily, I would stick with the regular face products you always use and then add in your dew with powder products. You do really want to make sure that you're working the product into your skin, especially when you're using a dewy foundation like this, because dewy foundations, because they're moisturizing, they can tend to move a little bit more than a matte foundation, which really kind of sticks in place because it's drier. So you want to make sure you take away any excess product in like your smile lines, kind of up here, where you might tend to crease. So I normally take the butt end of my sponge and just go back over those areas to take and suck up any excess product. If we lose any coverage in those areas, we can always go in with concealer. And I also tend to go over my foundation with a light dusting of powder that has a bit of a color to it, so that will help with additional coverage. So don't be worried if you're losing a little bit of coverage. We will make it work. I legitimately look naked. That's great. Okay, for concealer today, nothing new. We're going to use the Tarte Shape Tape. This is just going to really brighten our under eyes and give us a little dimension. This isn't really a dewy product. There are more dewy hydrating concealers you can use. I just don't have any that provide enough coverage and brightness. So that's why I'm using this, and we will go in with more dewy products very shortly. I feel like I look like I have little weird ears sticking out of my head with these clips. Okay, now is a fun new step that I'm going to try. This is actually a little makeup hack that Gigi Hadid does, I believe. When her and Maybelline came out with their big collection together, one of the products was kind of like a tinted BB cream, and she talked about how she used that as a soft contour. So I'm going to kind of play off that idea and use this pure Bare It All foundation. I got this in a shade that's just too dark for me, and I'm never going to be able to use it as an actual foundation, but I thought for this kind of bronzy, dewy, really healthy skin that this technique could work really well. And yeah, I think the color would be perfect for like a very soft contour. So that's what we're gonna do. So I'm just gonna take it on the butt of my sponge and apply it to the areas where I would contour or bronze. And we'll see if this like actually shows up. I think it is. Yeah. It's like slightly too dark, and I think that's the trick Gigi uses with her BB creams. She says that she would take like a darker BB cream and just lightly place it in these areas to make an extremely soft contour, which I can kind of see how that works. I think that that really adds some light dimension to the face that looks a lot more natural than an actual contour. So I'm also going to add some to the forehead. The nice thing about this too is because this is a foundation, this is also giving us like even more coverage, and it's just making everything look so like gorgeous and seamless and just covered but natural. So that's it for cream products. So now I do want to set the face a little bit with some powders. And for the under eye, I'm going to just very lightly dust a mixture of these two, oop, that's not it. A mixture of these two colors here from the Kat Von D Shade and Light palette. And I'm just going to very lightly stamp that with my sponge underneath the eyes. This again provides some nice coverage and also ensures that our concealer will stay in place and will not crease. A very, very tiny amount though, not much at all. Then for the rest of the face, I'm going to use the BareMinerals BarePro Performance Wear Powder Foundation. This one is in the shade Camel. It's a nice golden tone for when I have a tan, and I'm going to extremely lightly tap this over the face. Before we finish off the rest of the face, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm using the L'Oreal Brow Stylist Definer in the shade Dark Brunette. I normally don't show the brow portion of my tutorial, but I figured today I would change it up a little bit and show it to you guys. Let me know in the comments if you like that or if you really don't need it, like you've seen me do it enough, you don't need me to do this part and it's kind of boring. I really don't know what you guys would like. I skip it a lot, but then a lot of you guys say you want to see it. A lot of you guys don't say anything, so any feedback you have on the brow portion of my tutorials would be helpful. So I always start by underlining the brow, and then I kind of go up in hair-like strokes towards the front and then take it out here. And I'm always like going down because that's how my natural hairs go. They like start here and then kind of tail down. And then I brush through everything, and there's our brow. I'm going to take just a little bit of concealer to clean up the underneath portion. And so I just take some on the back of my hand and use my handy dandy little flat brush here from the Golden Triangle collection from Delium. So I'll just go right underneath here to make sure that's all straight and clean. Little trick I do too, sometimes I take it like this and just go up in the hairs to create some separation. If you've gotten like too blocky and filled in, this will almost make it look like they're little hairs because you're kind of taking away some of the product. Now I'm going to add my boy brow. This is from Glossier and it is in the shade Black. And this is just going to define the hairs and also keep the hairs in place. Why is there so much traffic going down my street right now? Okay, now the brows are done, let's do the eyes. And I'm just going to use some neutral shades from the Jaclyn Hill palette. I'm going to stick in this little area here. It's going to be super, super simple, and then we're just going to do a wing and some lashes. So I'm going to take this brush from Real Techniques and go right into this first transition shade. And just put that all throughout my crease. Just give it a little bit of dimension. I'm also going to make sure to blend that down onto my lid and kind of make it a one shade kind of covered. That makes no sense. Kind of make it like a monochromatic one sheen over the whole eyelid. Okay, to deepen that up a little bit more, I'm going to go into this shade right here. I believe this one's called Pukey, and this is one of my favorite shades to put in the crease. I'm going to take a little bit more of Pukey and actually put that right on the lid, and again kind of make it one wash of color. I'm just going to drag that slightly here underneath the eye, almost creating like little eye bags. Just gives a really nice like sultry, smoked out effect. Next we're going to do a winged liner, and I'm using the Maybelline Eye Studio with my brush from Delium. This is the Tight Liner Brush 716. Just going to clean this off. Little trick, I don't know if this is bad for the brush. It hasn't done anything bad to mine, but if I want to do a little quick clean, I just rub it all over a makeup wipe and it cleans it right off, and it hasn't hurt my brushes, so I don't know if that's bad to do. It probably is, but I'm lazy and I hate cleaning my brushes, so anything quick is good for me. Okay, so how I do my wing, actually why don't I zoom you in a little bit. Okay, so how I do my wing is I take my brush right into the little pot here and get it nice and coated. And then on the back of my hand, I just really warm up the product, My eyeliner is kind of old. I probably should just get a new one, but it kind of is chunky and needs to be warmed up on the back of the hand and made nice and jelly. So I do that. And this also helps the brush get really nice and flat and coated. So once I do that, I go right into this corner of the eye and make my first line out. You don't have to worry too much about this because we do take concealer and clean it up, but I try to be as neat as possible. And then I go not from the very tip, but right about here and draw my wing in. And I connect it to the lash line. It normally ends up connecting right about here, and then I just tight line this portion. So that's my eyeliner. Then what I do is I take a black eyeshadow, and I love the black eyeshadow in the Jaclyn Hill palette. I take an eyeliner brush like this guy right here, and I just dip into the black and go over the eyeliner. This makes it blacker, it makes it stay longer, and it really makes it super matte. It also allows me to get right in here and look really soft and seamless towards the tear duct, so it's not like super sharp or chunky. And that's my eyeliner. Now to clean it up, I go back in with this flat brush that I used to clean up my brows and use some of the concealer that's still on the back of my hand, and then I just go right along the edge to make sure it's super, super sharp and straight, like that. Then I take my sponge and just drag this softly down to blend it in with my face makeup. And that's my wing. So I'm going to do the other one quickly here, and then I'm going to pop on these lashes. These are the Flutter Intoxicating lashes. These are the same lashes I used in my yellow eyeshadow look. I really, really liked them, and I want to use them again to add some drama to the eyes since the eyeshadow is pretty simple. So I'll pop these on after I do the wings, and then we'll finish off the rest of the makeup. Okay, lashes aren't on. I'm taking these clips out because all of the real detail work. Nick and Kip are home. Looks like they're going on a walk. All of the real detail work is done. So I think I want to add a little something in my lower waterline though, and I'm going to use this tiny little brush here and go into the Jaclyn Hill palette and use this light shimmer shade and just put that very lightly in my waterline to give a pop. Ow, that hurt. I hate putting powder in my waterline, but it lasts so long. Ow! I'm putting a little bit of that in my inner tear duct there too. And we'll do some on the brow bone. Okay, now on to the rest of the face. So I'm going to use a powder bronzer from Becca. This is the Sunlit bronzer in the shade Ipanema Sun, and this has a really nice shimmer to it. So it's going to give us that bronzed but like sun-kissed, sunlit look. Is that Kip? And I'll bring it down here onto the jaw as well and like the neck region. I'm also going to just dust this over the nose. No harsh contouring today, just sun-kissed. I'm also putting a little bit over the cheeks here because that's where the sun would hit us. And then for blush, I'm going to, this has a crack in it. I'm going to actually mix a bronzer with a blush. So this is the MAC Global Glow Mineralized Skin Finish. It's kind of like a bronzer. And this is the Milani Luminoso Baked powder blush. I'm going to mix the two to make it more of like a bronzy peach color. So we're being really extra today. So I'll just take both on my blush brush. I also like that the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish is like super, super luminous. The blush from Milani is luminous, but like the two together is gonna be super luminous. I'm not being too precise, and I'm also gonna go over the nose and like where the sun would hit us, which is like this whole area. Perfect. Now I'm going to do the lips, and then we'll add the finishing Sunlit touches. So for lips, I'm using the NYX Nude Beige lip liner. This is more of like a tan beige. It's not super pinky. Okay, and then for the gloss, I'm going to use my Glossier Lip Gloss because I needed to use this to make up for forgetting you in my Glossier favorites. How could I do that? This is literally one of my favorite products from Glossier. It was in the little bin I was pulling from when I was talking about my favorites, and somehow it got like lodged in the side, and so I thought I was done and went through everything and just totally forgot it. This is absolutely my favorite gloss at the moment. It's so wet and like, ugh, it's just like moisture quenched gloss. So shiny and wet looking. Okay, now to really make us look sun-kissed, I'm going to add some faux freckles. I've done some faux freckle practice work and posted some photos on Instagram, and I feel like I have a really good technique down that I think looks pretty natural. A lot more natural than some other photos I've seen. Not throwing shade, I'm just saying I think that I get my freckles to look pretty natural. So I'm going to show you how I do this. And I don't use like a pencil. A lot of people use like a retractable pencil. I don't think it's precise enough, and I think it's too harsh. So what I have done is I use this brush from Delium. This is their 708 bent eyeliner brush. It is the tiniest, most precise brush I own. And I use this in a brown eyeshadow, and the color that has been really freckle-like, at least for my face, is this brown shade from the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I take this little brush. Actually, why don't I zoom you in again so you can see. Okay, I take my little brush and I really coat it. Where are you, brown? It's this one right here. I really coat it in the brown, but then I knock off a lot of the excess, and I even kind of like swirl it in my hand to make sure that there's not too much product. You can always go in and intensify the freckle, but when you pop it right on and it's like dark and heavy, it's very hard to conceal and go back. So we want to start very lightly. And what I kind of do is look and see on my face where I already have birthmarks or freckles, because I do tend to get freckles in the summer. I don't have many right now, but I still have some like poking through. Like I always get one right here. So I'm just going to intensify that there. And I always have like a little mark right here. So I'm going to do that. And then I kind of play off of those areas and try to make this as sporadic as possible. In my opinion, you don't want your freckles to be like perfectly mirrored. They need to be in different places, because that's how freckles go. They're not like symmetrical. They're completely asymmetrical. So I also make sure to get some up on the forehead. I always have like a little spot there. I normally get one here and like here. And then I get one like right here. Then I just kind of take some. And as the powder starts to lose its pigment, that's when I start to like go a little bit more rapidly, because these are going to be really, really light. But in the end, these light marks will make a difference. You can't just have some like dark ones and then that's it. I like to add variety of how intense the freckles actually are. And then I stop like right before I think I probably need more, because then I can get overboard. And how I kind of make them look even more real is I take my sponge and I dip it right into a powder. Typically a powder that kind of matches my under eyes. So I'll go lightly back into the Kat Von D powder we used, and I'll just like very lightly go over all of that. And we're gonna leave it at that. It's extremely minimal. In photos, you can almost barely see it, and I think that's the perfect amount. So I'm gonna zoom you back out, we'll finish highlights, and then we'll be done. Yeah, it'll be super interesting if when editing I can see the freckles. Right now I can't tell if you guys can even see the freckles. I'm guessing you probably sort of can, but yeah, it's pretty minimal. So now what we're going to do is spritz the face, set it down with a setting spray or facial spray. And this is the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea. But instead of just spraying my face like this, I'm going to use the technique that I have been loving, which is to spray my sponge and then push onto the skin where I need it. I got so tired of spraying my face and trying to be careful and keeping my eyes open, but still getting transfer from my mascara. So this is my trick that I use to set my face, and it has not negatively impacted my foundation or anything like that. It's never ruined my foundation using the sponge this way, so I've continued to do it. Okay, and for highlight today, I am using this highlighter from Maybelline. This is their Master Chrome Molten Gold Highlight. I have used this before, but it's been a while, so I figured for this golden sun-kissed look, this would be the perfect highlight to use. So I'm going to use this brush from Delium. This is their tapered contour brush, and I'm just going to dip right in there and go to work. And I'm not gonna hold back. I'm definitely going to highlight quite a bit, pinpoint it in this area, but then take it up elsewhere, even bring it onto the cheek area. Definitely wanna bring it up onto the temples here. Anywhere the sun would kiss you. The nose, even on the chin. And of course, our shoulders. Collarbone. Coif the hair. And that is the finished look, you guys. I hope you enjoyed watching and this got you in the mood for summer. I know I am so ready for warmer weather and the sun. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, this sun-kissed makeup look. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I love you all so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!